Hi, I'm Leanne Ely. I'm a nutritionist, a New York Times best-selling author, and some people even say I'm a life coach. I started the Daily Dish Show to share my story, my truth, and my journey to vibrancy, and to inspire others to do the same. Because it's all about grit, perseverance, and finding a way despite the odds. It's about embracing the whole woman, not just the parts that are easy to love, and feeding her heart, mind, body, and soul. But I found that this isn't just my story, it's your story too. It's go time. This is the Daily Dish. It's Tuesday. You know what that means? It's Transformational Tip Tuesday. Woo! I'm into it. I am into it. You know what that means? I want to get down into the weeds, and boy, do I have a show for you today. I'm glad to share it. Alice, it's good to see you. And I know that there will be other people along here shortly. I just don't see anybody saying hello. If you're here and you haven't said hello yet, come on, let's be friends. Let's do that. So we've had quite a week. Let me say this already. Hey, Jocelyn, we're getting ready for the Hot Melt 30. It starts on Thursday. You know why? Thursday happens to be June 1st because we're all about counting those 30 days. And in 30 days, we can make some remarkable change. I'm going to be talking a little bit about all of that in just a minute. But first, you need to go to this link, savingdinner.com/30, THIRTY, and get the information about this. Hey there's my girl, Nancy. Cheers to you, Nancy. Good to see you. But anyway, the thing that you need to know about all of this is we are on a path to purpose. We've talked about that before in this path of purpose. And if we can't bring our bodies alongside with us, we're not going to get to the purposeful place that we need to get. This is our vehicle for life, y'all, and we don't get another one. So take care of the one you have, and that's all we're going to be talking about. Hey, Sandy, glad to see you. So let's get busy with all of this. savingdinner.com/30. The gratitude journal is now off the table. Well, let me just say this. We're in a backorder situation. So if you still want the gratitude journal, I don't blame you. It's pretty cool. It's at savingdinner.com/grateful. It's going to take a minute to get them, though. It's going to be about a good 10 days. So I'm just letting you know. Hey there, Denise. Also, we have our course, the Crush Limiting Beliefs course. That is starting on June 8th. So it will be a week from this Thursday coming up at 7 p.m. Eastern for 6 weeks straight. Let me tell you about it. We all have some kind of limiting beliefs, and most of us don't even know what they are. Limiting beliefs hold us back from the life that we want, the vibrancy that we're seeking, the goals that we want to have attained in our lives, and living a life in full bloom. We have 6 weeks to uncover them, to get to the root of them, to have hot seats about them, and for you to have a one-on-one with me so we can really dig deep. If you're interested, and I know you are, go to savingdinner.com/no limits. Hey, Lizzie Trout, good to have you here. And Susan's here. Susan's here. Yes, our Sue. Good. Hi, Sue. Good to have you here. And Denise. All right, everybody's marching on in. They know I'm late, so they're going to be late too. Sorry. Tomorrow night, Wednesday, the 31st at 7 p.m. Eastern, if you already have your Hot Melt 30 guide, you will be sent a link to come to the commitment signing ceremony, shall we say, and Q&A and whatever else. But it's our kickoff. We're getting ready for this. It's going to be absolutely fantastic because so many people are going to be there. And this is how we really get into the rah-rah, let's do this kind of a place. So I hope that you will check your emails. If you bought the Hot Melt 30 guide, and no worries, if you ever bought the Hot Melt 30 guide, you don't have to continue to buy it over and over again. All you have to do is just click on the link that we give you in that email. So there you go. Let's see, what else do we have to tell you about? This is it. The scariest moment is just before you start. Has anybody felt this personally? I certainly have. It's kind of a dreadful, fearful excitement that's all together wrapped up in one big bow. It's like I'm excited about this, but I'm scared about this, and it feels risky, and I don't know, and what if, and all the other, murmurings that go on in our head. But I'm going to tell you something about that. That is oftentimes the preamble for people not going at all, not going in at all, not, or maybe just dipping their toe in and then saying, see, it didn't work. But I have a promise for you, okay? A promise for you. This is a promise. It's based on science. It's based on personal experience. It's based on coaching hundreds, thousands of clients over the last 30 years. I counted it up, 30 years. I've been doing this for 30 years. And that is this. When you go all in, when you give it 100%, a full commitment, you're not going to do it perfectly, but you will do it excellently and you will succeed. I know this for a fact. Okay? So think about that. Think about that as you think about this intrepidation of starting. Hello, Martha. It's so good to have you here. Anyway, this is, this is human nature. But today, it's your wake-up call. Because I'm talking to you. I'm talking to everybody who's going to listen to this on replay. And I hope that you hear me on all of this, because this is absolutely crucial and important, right? Because today we're going to give visible to the verbal. I'll tell you exactly what all of that is, except I forgot to tell you about Biomega-3 X. That's on sale today. savingdinner.com/show. Buy 3, get one free. All the details are always at all the links. And by the way, anything that you need that I've talked about is always at savingdinner.com/announcements. But let's talk about giving the visual to the verbal. Now, this was one of those things that came up during a meditation that I wrote down in my journal. And I'm going to unpack for you right now, because I wrote a ton about it in my journal. And I think it landed really hard in my heart, convicted me of some things that I needed some conviction on, and also kind of gave me clarity about the going forwardness that we all really want, right? Nobody wants to be stuck. Nobody wants to just stay the same. Everybody that I have ever met in my life wants a little bit more, and a little bit more vibrancy, a little bit more living life fully bloomed. Of course you do, right? If we're here on this planet, we're here for a purpose, and on purpose. Fearfully and wonderfully made, all of that stuff, right? Always. So we've got to go on this and look at this directive of giving visual to the verbal, because we have to step away from just talking about it, and we have to start putting some real-time action on it. Not just talk, but the walk. And you know why? Every time you break a promise to yourself, and I have this written down too, 2 very serious consequences emerge. You erode your own self-trust, and you erode your credibility among your peers. They'll just think of you as the girl who didn't follow through. They'll think of you as the girl who adiosed out, the one who Irish goodbye, who was all in and then just gone. Your credibility evaporates. Your self-trust is worse, though, because it just hangs inside of you and erodes, rusting. So we have to look at this, and we have to be honest about it, and we have to do something about it, obviously. So what do we do? The number one thing that we need to do is we need to stop waiting and stop researching. That's my job. I'll research for you, and I'll tell you, go do your own research and what have you. But let me drop a couple of truth bombs on you for starters, right? The perfect moment does not exist. This is why everybody starts their diets, right? Their diets. Oh gosh, you know how I hate that, on a Monday. They go out and they just go completely off the rails on the weekends, and then say, I'll start on Monday, right? And those people who do this and start on Monday and get through or whatever, they white knuckle through it. Do you think they stay the course? Or is there going to be another Monday coming along where they're going to have, go off the rails on a weekend and then start on Monday again? University of Virginia has a study. They did a study on this, and they explained that waiting for the right time to start a diet or a fitness plan or whatever can be a form of procrastination that only leads to further delay. Do you hear me? It's not going to be perfect when you start. I'm just going to give it to you straight. It's not. It can't be. All the stars are not going to line up, and you're going to get up at Monday morning and say, I feel like doing this. As a matter of fact, I'm clearly motivated. No one's really motivated for change unless there's fear involved a lot of times. It's when your doctor says to you, hey, here's what's up with you. Here's your health condition. Here's what you're doing. I want you to see that this is one of the reasons why we are starting the Hot Milk 30 on a Thursday. I remember when we were going through our calendar as a team and we're going, okay, the next 30 days, it's going to be June. So let's do it. When's the first? Thursday. Ooh, right before the weekend. That's what I thought. And then I thought, you know what, how stupid on my part to go along with what the culture does and what the diet culture is about. Go crazy and then start fresh on Monday. You know what? There's never a perfect time to start. There's only the time to start when you make a decision for yourself that you're done with the talking. It's time to do the walking. Am I right? Absolutely. Absolutely. And the second thing is we have to stop the assembly line of excuses. We manufacture these excuses and we pull them out of the hat so quickly and so fast and without anybody even blinking an eye. Well, of course, you've got a lot going on in your life. Well, of course, look at all those kids that you have and you're taking care of this person over here and you're doing all of this and you've got this job. You got to commute. You know what the University of Pennsylvania says? They showed that excuses perpetuate the cycle of procrastination and non-productivity. They've shown that. And we, as women who have this desire, hot desire in our hearts, and have a dream of what it is that we want in our lives, have got to stop just fantasizing about it. We got to put action to it. You don't get it. You don't run a marathon. Not that I'm condoning anybody running a marathon. You know how I feel about, I'm not big on running, for protecting joints and all of that. But I'm going to tell you that exactly what it is that you have to just be done with your own excuses. You know what? You've got a lot going on in your life, don't you? You got a lot going on? I do too. Anybody not have anything going on in their life, just sitting on the couch wondering what to do next? I don't think so. I don't think so. Excuses are always readily available, but not for those who have a hot desire for something, and not for those who are on purpose and for purpose and on that path of purpose, seeking out vibrancy in all that they do, seeking out that fully bloomed life. Those excuses get really small and tiny, and we don't search for them anymore. We dismiss them and say, nope, I'd rather not do this right now. I don't feel motivated to do this right now, but I'm going to do it anyway. I made a promise to myself. I made a promise to myself, and that's critical. Am I right? And that's what it is. The other thing is, don't forget, your credibility is on the line. Don't think that people don't see when you're there and then gone. They do. Don't think that they don't wonder, what's up? What happened? Why is she not there anymore? They see it. Third thing we have to think about is that it's all about habit, right? And habits can be good stuff. Habits can be bad stuff. And this is why we're doing the Hot Milk 30 in the first place, because it's training in the good habits. I will tell you, the reason that I started the Hot Milk Sprint in the first place was for myself, because I wanted to get myself back on track. And I just said, okay, what is it? I'm not feeling great right now. I need to get rid of anything that causes inflammation, and I need to build up my body, right? This is what got me out of the hot seat with Hashimoto's and into the remission seat, by the way. This was my food plan, and I shared it with everybody, and I'll never charge for it. Well, the Hot Melt 30 is different because the Hot Melt 30 takes all of those principles that I use to put my Hashimoto's into remission and puts them into a plan. This is what I did. This is how I moved my body. These are the promises that I made to myself. This is the meditation that I did. I'm not going to give you meditations, but these were the habits that changed everything. And habits create a lifetime of better health. We're not just in it to get, into the size 6 jeans. We are in it so that we can have the vibrancy that we want so hotly in our lives. It's that simple. And so when we create habits that encompass all the things, heart, mind, body, and soul, we know that we're on the right path because this, again, is the vehicle for life. And if we do not address first things first, what's on the end of our fork, we're going to miss it because we're not going to be able to get the car out of the garage, right? That's how this thing works. So here's another study. European Journal of Social Psychology says it takes an average of 66 days to form a habit. What do you think of that? Well, BJ Fogg says, not so fast. Now, he is a behavior scientist at Stanford. He also wrote the book, Tiny Habits. Such a good book. And here's what he says. I'm going to read his quote because I think he's right on. How long does it take for habits to grow to their full expression? There's no universal answer. Any advice you hear about a habit taking 21 to 66 days is to be fully formed is not entirely accurate because there is no magic number of days. Why? Because the formation time of a habit depends on 3 things. 1, the person doing the habit and what they're about. 2, the habit itself, the action that needs to be taken. And 3, the context, how you're going to get it done. I think that's really important because habits can be really fastly formed. They can if they're repeated consistently and again and again. Shampoo, rinse, and repeat. That's how it works. But the thing is that we have to address is that while that's how we form good habits, we also have to ditch the habit of failure because failure can be a habit. This is, I'm going all in. Here it is. It's Monday. I'm doing all of this. And by Wednesday, whoop, adios, gone, kaput, nowhere to be found, crickets. We have to cultivate our habits, don't we? We have to cultivate our habits. We have to strive to improve them, And I will tell you, a lot of people will say, oh, striving and you don't want to be doing that. That's just trying too hard and piling on and all of this. What do you think it is that makes an athlete, right? What is it that takes a standard athlete and turns them into a champion? It's the striving on the daily. It's getting out there and doing all the things. It's addressing heart, mind, body, and soul. There's a mindset piece that goes out when that person, Diana Naya, for example, is swimming across the ocean. Do you think she had a crappy mindset and was just like, we'll just give this a try and whatever? Her mindset was steel. I have a goal. I'm going to do this. She prepared her body. She prepared her mind, her soul. She understood why she wanted this, right? Why don't we take the time to do this for ourselves? Now, we won't get it down every time. We can't. We're not, superhuman, perfect beings. But we can strive for excellence every time, and we can mostly hit our marks. And when we don't, we can stand back and assess and go, okay, so what happened here? And when we do that, look what happens. Look what happens. We find our way, just like Diana said, we find our way. And we find our way, we find the drive and the need to and the how to all comes to our rescue because the inside of us is directing us into the path that we need to take in order to attain that goal. And there's a 4th strategy as well, and that's to get organized. I know organization is a dirty word for a lot of people, but I'm here to tell you this. If you can schedule it, you can do it. That is the truth. This is why we use the time sheet, the time blocking sheet, so you can see where the heck is my time going. When people say they don't have time and they spend 4 hours on social media, I say you've just allocated your time really badly. Where's your time going? Do you know? You can get the time sheet. We have it at savingdinner.com/time. It's free. Look at that and assess that. And your assessments never have to be about beating yourself up. That's not what they're there for. It's there for you to see the honest to God truth of what your day really looks like, where you're spending it. Are you on YouTube all day watching funny goat videos? You know, are you doing this and doing that and just one more this and one more that? And the next thing you look and go, oh my gosh, it's time to make dinner. Hours have gone by. Or you're at night, you're watching Netflix until your eyeballs fall out of your head. And then you're wondering why you can't sleep at night, all that screen time. The University of California says time management states that you're more likely to achieve your goals when they're organized and time-bound. Duh. We don't need any kind of research to tell us this, but the research is out there. Let's get a little stronger with our time. I don't have to tell you this, you know this. I can't give you any more time. I can give you ideas. I can give you some well-researched things that you can do. I can give you all kinds of stuff. The stuff I can't give you is time at all. No one can. No one. Not even God himself is going to give you time. Your time is your time is your time. We have 24 hours a day in this day. And you, like me and everyone else, has the ability to assess, am I spending my time wisely? Am I? Is my time going toward the things that I want, or is it just being wasted and crushed? I promise you this. If you've ever lost a loved one, or if you've ever been in a place where you look back with a little bit of regret, you will regret wasting your time on stuff that absolutely gives you nothing in return. Okay? Keep that in mind. Number 5, hold yourself to a higher standard. You know what that means? Your higher standard means that you don't settle for mediocrity. You strive for excellence. Again, it's a striving thing. Because you can reach for excellence, because you were born for excellence. This is why you're here in the first place. This is why we are here collectively taking breath. We're here on purpose and for purpose. And don't you think that excellence is involved in that? Of course it is. Scientists at the University of Oxford are held at higher standards of rigor and precision in their research. They are. Shouldn't we be too? Shouldn't we be held to these higher standards? Of course we should. And have you noticed that when we do hold ourselves to those higher standards, I'm not talking impossible high standards. I'm not talking perfect standards. I'm talking higher standards than sitting your butt on the couch all night watching Netflix. I'm talking about the kind of standards that'll get you to the place that you want to go. That's what I'm talking about. Why don't we all apply that to ourselves? Why don't we? Collectively. We are. With Hot Melt 30, we're holding a higher standard. We're not just doing a week, we're doing 30 days. And that 30 days is going to turn into a lifetime of clean, healthy living habits. And you can ask a number of our members of the Hot Melt Sprint who are doing this, especially Tanya, how this works. She knows. Lastly, don't fear change. I know we do, don't we? We do. We do fear change. The University of British Columbia found that adaptability is a key attribute in achieving goals and maintaining mental health. Well, of course it is. My question to you is, do you have the courage to change gears? Sometimes you have to adapt things to make them work for you. Sometimes you have to say, you know what, I like this concept. In practical terms, that's not working for me, but I can do this instead. Be solution-oriented and look for this stuff. Instead of being fearful and shrinking back, be brave and courageous and confront it. And say, you know what? I can't do this exactly, but let's see what I can do. When you do that, then you're not fearful of change. You know what you are? You are courageous and strong, and you are a woman of valor, is what you are. This is how vibrancy gets created. And then the last thing I want to say to you, and if we resist change, we're going to miss out. So let's go toward change, shall we? Together, collectively, sure, we can do it. Let's remember we have to also, last point, you got to have grace with yourself, my friend. Grace, 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 grace. We can strive for excellence, but we can never strive for perfection, because what that's going to do is put us in this place of continual and constant frustration with ourselves, with our circumstances, with our family, with others. But if we are looking for excellence, we're going to find it. Excellence can be found everywhere. Excellence, like gratitude, can be cultivated. These are things that we have to do for ourselves. When we do these things for ourselves, our world changes. The lens that we see it through changes. And the people who are around us seemingly change. And they're not really changing. It's us who's done all the changing. The Journal of Positive Psychology says that self-compassion promotes psychological well-being and resilience. And resilience, because this is the name of the game. Resilience is the thing that makes you stay the course, that keeps you in that hot melt 30, that keeps you going the course, that keeps it so that you don't quit on yourself. Because what does quitting on yourself get you, right? More disappointment, more frustration, more negative loops. And it doesn't move the needle in your life at all. On the contrary, slide you back down. Now, the Hot Melt 30 is starting this Thursday. And on Wednesday night, we're signing some contracts. I've got them right here. We're going to be signing them together. We're going to be talking about it. We're going to be doing all of it. And it's only for those who are committed to the Hot Melt 30. Is that you? That's my only question. And if you don't know what the Hot Melt 30 is, or you're wondering what it is all about, then you're just going to have to go find out for yourself at savingdinner.com/30, THIRTY. I will tell you, I don't want one person left behind. If you are all about having the verbal and the visual align, then you're going to be there. That's all I have to say to you. That's it. I'm done. Tell me to shut up. I will. Oh my goodness. I hope this has been helpful for you. You know what? It's fun when you go cruising through your journal and you find a little tidbit that maybe might help. Sure helped me, and I hope it helps you. I love you all so very much, and I'm so grateful for you. Thank you so much for showing up. Those of you who are going to be with me tomorrow night, I'm looking forward to seeing you and answering any questions that you have, signing that commitment, and going all in. Pinkies up. Thanks so much again. I will see you for Wise Women's Wednesday. Don't miss tomorrow's show. It's a doozy. Peace be with you. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining me today. You can find me on TikTok for daily tips to help support your most vibrant life. And remember, you are the author of your own story. Until next time.